Hello and welcome to Learning Excel 2016. My name is Mike Henry and this is the fourth video from Chapter 9. In this video we're going to talk about finding the number of periods. So continuing with our loan scenario here, last time we looked at what our future value was and we found out we were coming up short. We were not making our loan payments in time. So now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how many payments would it take us? What would the number of payments take based on this amount here, being able to pay the $20,000 per quarter? What would it take for us to, time-wise, to pay off our loan? And you can see I've already put in the parameters for us. We've got our $400,000 loan. It's still 5 years, 4 payments per year. We still have an annual rate and a rate per quarter and our payment. So really what we're talking about here is the number of payments. And in this case we use an NPER formula, our number of payments. And we put this in here, and again I center this. If you accidentally get on the wrong one, you could get some really wrong information here. So we make sure we get in the right spot. Now here our rate is still the rate what we're talking about per quarter. We look at our payment, which is still the negative $20,000 because that money's coming out of our pocket and paying the loan. The present value of our loan is still the $400,000 here. We've now we're paying this loan off totally, so our future value is right here back to 0. And we're still paying at the end of the month, so we don't touch type. Now you can see here, it says it's going to take us 23 payments to make this loan pay off. And that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Because if you look here, you were 61,000 short, and that you divide that by 20,000, that looks like 3 more payments. And that's pretty much what you're doing, a little over 3 more payments. Now, that really isn't 5 years. So what you would do is you'd take that 5 years out of there, and you would say, well, take the total number of months and we'll divide that by the payments, and really what we're talking about is 6 years on this loan, or if we put in the decimals the way it should be, you're talking about 5.8 years to pay this off. So you would go back to the bank and you'd have a discussion of whether this was a possibility to do or not. Obviously, since you can see I'm going to change our present value, we're not going to get successful on that attempt. So continuing with this scenario, we're trying to come up with our $1.8 million to build our new factory. Unfortunately, last time we only came up with 1.498 or 1.5 million, we'll round it. And we went to the contractor and said, would you build us a factory for 1.5? And they said, no, we won't build that factory for you. So now we're in the position of we need to figure out how long it's going to take us to raise our 1.8 million. We're still putting the 400,000 away. The bank is still all the same here. We can only put away 55. The big difference is we need to figure out how many months it's going to take us putting this money away to actually reach our goal of 1.8. So here we're going to change the number of payments, and we hit this. Again, we're using the right line, and we put in our rate. We put in our payment amount. You put in your present value, so putting the 400,000 away. Now the future value is we need 1.8 million. The contractor said he won't build our factory for us. So here it says it's going to take us 22.5 payment periods. You go, well, that's just short of 2 years. And if you need to know exactly, you can take the number of payments and you divide that by the number of payments in a year. You can see that that's just about 1.88 years. And the marketing department comes back and says, we can't do that. That's almost a half a year. The marketing department saying we're going to be so far behind that we're not going to have a product out there that's worthwhile. So we need to figure out a way to get it done quicker. So we're going to look at that in the next videos. So we looked at finding the number of periods. In the one case, we looked at a loan. How long was it going to take us to pay off this loan since we weren't going to be able to make the actual payment that was required to complete the loan on schedule? Then the second scenario we looked at is we're trying to save up for a future goal. Suddenly the amount of payment that we can put away has been changed. So how much longer is it going to take us to make that future goal? We could have done the reverse. We could have put more money away every payment period, and how much would that have shortened the life to get to our goal? That's what we all hope for retirement, that we can shorten it up and retire out by 52 instead of waiting until we're 65. So these are things that you want to start thinking about.